A taser, a conducted electrical weapon, is an electroshock weapon sold by Taser International. It fires two small dart-like electrodes, which stay connected to the main unit by conductors, to deliver electric current to disrupt voluntary control of missiles, causing neuromuscular incapacitation. Someone struck by a taser experiences overstimulation of sensory nerves and motor nerves, resulting in strong involuntary muscle contractions. Tasers do not rely on pain compliance, except when used in drive-stun mode, and are thus preferred by some law enforcement over non-taser stun guns and other electronic control weapons. Tasers were introduced as non-lethal weapons for police to use to subdue fleeing, belligerent, or potentially dangerous people, who would have otherwise been subjected to more lethal weapons such as firearms. A 2009 Police Executive Research Forum study said that officer injuries drop by 76% when a taser is used. However, while Taser CEO Rick Smith has stated that police surveys show that the device has saved 75,000 lives, there have been some instances where tasers have resulted in serious injury or death. Although some other companies have produced similar devices, the significance as of 2014 is still marginal. History. Jack Cover, a NASA researcher, began developing the taser in 1969. By 1974, Cover had completed the device, which he named after his childhood hero Tom Swift. The Taser public defender used gunpowder as its propellant, which led the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco and Firearms to classify it as a firearm in 1976. The back-formed verb to tase is used sometimes. Taser International CEO Patrick Smith has testified in a taser-related lawsuit that the catalyst for the development of the device was the shooting death of two of his high school acquaintances by a guy with a legally licensed gun who lost his temper. In 1993, Rick Smith and his brother Thomas began to investigate what they called safer use of force option for citizens and law enforcement. At the Scottsdale, Arizona facilities, the brothers worked with the original taser inventor, Jack Cover, to develop a non-firearm taser electronic control device. The 1994 Air Taser Model 34000 had an anti-felon identification system to prevent the likelihood that the device would be used by criminals upon use. It released many small pieces of paper containing the serial number of the taser device. The U.S. Firearms Regulator, the ATF, stated that the air taser was not a firearm. In 1999, Taser International developed an ergonomically handgun-shaped device called the Advanced Taser M-Series systems, which used a patented neuromuscular incapacitation technology. In May 2003, Taser International released a new weapon called the Taser X26, which used shaped pulse technology. On July 27, 2009, Taser International released a new type of taser called the X3, which can fire 3 shots before reloading. It holds 3 new type cartridges, which are much thinner than the previous model. Function. The taser fires 2 small dart-like electrodes, which stay connected to the main unit by conductive wire as they are propelled by small compressed nitrogen charges. The cartridge contains a pair of electrodes and propellant for a single shot and is replaced after each use. There are a number of cartridges designated by range, with the maximum at 35 feet. Cartridges available to non-law enforcement consumers are limited to 15 feet. The electrodes are pointed to penetrate clothing and barbed to prevent removal once in place. Earlier taser models had difficulty in penetrating thick clothing, but newer versions use a shaped pulse that increases effectiveness in the presence of barriers. Tasers also provide a safety benefit to police officers as they have a greater deployment range than batons, pepper spray or empty empty hand techniques. This allows police to maintain a safe distance. A study of use of force incidents by the Calgary Police Service conducted by the Canadian Police Research Centre found that the use of tasers resulted in fewer injuries than the use of batons or empty hand techniques. The study found that only pepper spray was a safer intervention option. Drive stun. Some taser models, particularly those used by police departments, also have a drive stun capability, where the taser is held against the target without firing the projectiles, and is intended to cause pain without incapacitating the target. Drive stun bullshit. The process of using the EMD weapon as a pain compliance technique. This is done by activating the taser and placing it against an individual's body. This can be done without an air cartridge in place, or after an air cartridge has been deployed. Guidelines released in 2011 in the U.S. recommend that use of drive stun as a pain compliance technique be avoided. The guidelines were issued by a joint committee of the Police Executive Research Forum and the U.S. Department of Justice Office of Community-Oriented Policing Services. The guidelines state, using the ECW to achieve pain compliance may have limited effectiveness and, when used repeatedly, may even exacerbate the situation by inducing rage in the subject. A study of U.S. police and sheriff departments found that 29.6% of the jurisdictions allowed the use of drive stun for gaining compliance in a passive resistance arrest scenario, with no physical contact between the officer and the subject. For a scenario that also includes non-violent physical contact, this number is 65.2%. A Las Vegas police document says the drive stun causes significant localized pain in the area touched by the taser, but does not have a significant effect on the central nervous system. The drive stun does not incapacitate a subject but may assist in taking a subject into custody. The UCLA Taser incident and the University of Florida Taser incident involved university police officers using the taser's drive stun capability. Amnesty International has expressed particular concern about drive stun, noting that the potential to use tasers in drive stun mode, where they are used as pain compliance tools when individuals are already effectively in custody, and the capacity to inflict multiple and prolonged shocks, renders the weapons inherently open to abuse. Models. There are two primary models that Taser International is promoting to law enforcement agencies and civilians alike: the Taser X26 and the Taser X2 Defender. Other models still in circulation include the Taser M26, the Taser C2 and the Taser X3, which was first introduced in 2009. In recent years there have been numerous advances in both the technology that powers tasers as well as the size, look and feel of each particular model. Three of the more notable advancements were introduced in the Taser X2 Defender, which debuted in 2011. The three improvements are the backup shot feature, dual lasers, and the warning arc. With the option for an additional shot, the X2 provides a benefit that other models simply can't: the chance for a second shot without having to reload. The dual lasers have also impacted the latest advancements in tasers, greatly increasing the accuracy of hitting the intended target. The user can see exactly where the probes will deploy as the lasers pinpoint where each probe will contact the intended target. The warning arc has had perhaps the biggest impact of all the advancements. It has the capability to de-escalate the situation without the user having to fire a single shot. According to Kevin Saylor of the Westminster Police Department, all of our initial field uses of the X2 resulted in voluntary surrenders upon display of the warning arc. Quote, Each of the innovations mentioned in this article and others unmentioned have led two models, the Taser X2 6P and the Taser X2, to be crowned smart weapons. Quote, advancements in processing speeds, chip and circuitry technologies, and more powerful software have propelled forward powerful, smart devices. A 2009 development has included marketing tasers tailored specifically for women. The Taser website states, "Who says safety can't be stylish?" in reference to its latest designer Taser C2 colors and patterns, which include leopard print patterns on a range of colors. Accessories. There are several accessories available with which to outfit newer Taser models, from small accessories used in conjunction with a Taser such as practice targets, maintenance kits, a data port download kit, and a black ARC-registered sign holster. There are also accessories that are interchangeable with the stock setup of a Taser. These accessories allow for a customizable weapon to meet the specialized needs of a particular agency or an individual user. Examples of the many power magazines available and the Taser Cam HD. The Taser Cam HD is a specialized device designed to capture audio and video without the need to manually turn on the recording device, an action that is unpractical in the field. Automatically capturing video and audio unburdens the user from the need to manually turn on the device during a dangerous situation. This is critical and guarantees there will always be a record of the Taser firing. Designed to be interchangeable between the Taser X26 and Taser X2, the camera records both video and audio automatically each time the Taser is armed. There is no interference to the normal function of the Taser. It is still fully functional while the camera is in operation. This innovation, coupled with the data port download kit, allows for the automatic archiving of critical events for law enforcement agencies. Users. According to a 2010 study titled Police Use of Force, Tasers and Other Less Lethal Weapons, over 15,000 law enforcement and military agencies around the world use Tasers as part of the use of force continuum. The study was conducted by the United States Department of Justice. Just as the number of agencies deploying Tasers has continued to increase each year, so too the number of Taser-related incidents between law enforcement officers and suspects has been on the rise. Although there has been a history of controversy regarding the ethical use of Tasers, studies similar to the one conducted by the U.S. Department of Justice have shown Taser use actually provides many positive benefits to police officers and even to the suspects they encounter. A study of the Houston Police Department found the number of workers' comp claims by officers has declined by as much as 93% due to deploying Tasers as a means of non-lethal force. Suspect injuries have also been impacted by Taser use, trimming the percentage of suspect injuries by as much as 60%. Another study conducted in 2009 by Wake Forest University confirmed data from the Houston study. The Wake Forest study found 99.75% of suspects who had been subjected to Taser use had no significant injuries. Use of Tasers by the Seattle Police Department, one of the largest police forces in the Northwest, has been shown to reduce the odds of suspect injury by 48%. Data gathered from other agencies confirms a decline in suspect injuries due to Taser deployment. In Orlando, Florida and Austin, Texas, studies found that suspect injuries were 50% and 30% lower respectively after Taser use was adopted. Officer injuries have been impacted by Taser use as well. The same studies found that in most agencies officer injuries were greatly reduced after Tasers were introduced as part of each particular organization's use of force continuum. Although more recent studies have uncovered vast amounts of data that supports the positive benefits of Taser usage in law enforcement, There is also data that suggests Taser usage has negatively impacted some individual police officers as well. The study conducted in 2010 by the United States Department of Justice found that some officers may rely too heavily upon activating a taser during suspect encounters. The study refers to this negative trait in some police officers as lazy cop syndrome. Further research is being conducted to determine what triggers some officers to rely too heavily upon taser use or deploy a taser too early in an encounter. As the technology continues to evolve, tasers are becoming more advanced, smart weapons. The officers and agencies who deploy them have opportunities to receive specialized training to hone the skills at deploying these emerging technologies. Taser International offers law enforcement agencies around the world the opportunity to receive hands-on training in the Training Academy, led by some of the world's leading taser experts. The Taser Registered Sign Training Academy offers courses including training in taser tactics, weapon maintenance, data reporting, and smart use training. In another related field advancement, Noel Sharkey reported in the Wall Street Journal that police in North Dakota have been cleared to operate drone aircraft equipped with tear gas and tasers.